Do you think you'd have been some sort of a freedom fighter?
Yeah, I'd be a revolutionary.
To climb to a plateau of peace, love, and unity. You can't have peace if you have a foot on your neck stomping you down.
Until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until
we carry this trauma and violence.
The truth is crashing to the earth. And people have been watching and witnessing and have committed to themselves that the next time this thing happens, I want to do something different about it. And each and every time we continue to see more people commit their lives, commit their time to transformation and liberation.
That until the base.
We are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency.
This a war.
We have to put our bodies on the line. We have to put our bodies into the machines and the wheels of these systems to clog it up, to change it, to stop it, to break it all the way down.
We got to fight.
You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy.
Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action.
Be pursued.
Well, white supremacy is very much rooted in the idea that people buy its narrative. And that narrative, its perspective is we have a free and equal, open society.
Now everywhere is war.
Now the gloves are off. And then when the gloves are off, you have to take sides.
War.
There's so many ironies surrounding the concept of freedom in the American context today, including the plight of immigrants, the position of women of color, the ongoing lynching, killing of African American men, that it seems important to understand what Bob Marley might have to say about this moment.
We Africans will fight, we find it necessary, and we know we shall win, as we are confident in the victory of good over evil. Good over evil, yeah. Good over evil.
Them can't see the truth, because the truth will not be found there. That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
I think that if we look particularly at Bob Marley's love songs, you'll see that there's always a political element. But most importantly, those songs that seem to be frankly and simply political are also love songs. This, I think, is particularly the case with Redemption Song.
I know that people across the world revere Bob Marley as being one that helps to articulate their struggle, their love, their pain.
The world spring politics off of God because they want to fight against God, then they build politics around it. But what we're dealing with is not politics, we are dealing with the truth. The only survival for human beings.
Well, he was a real leader, a real folk leader in the real sense. He never changed from that. He never essentially changed as a person at all. He was the same person all the time. He never separated himself from the people.
I think of liberation when I think of Bob Marley's music. I think of a person that constantly fought to be free. Free mentally, free from enslavement, free from just the Western religion, free in every aspect of life, I
think that this unity amongst Black people, and when he says the unification of mankind starts now and it starts with you,
when you are a person who believes that this movement is not just about Black people in America, but that we have to be concerned with the diaspora, then Bob Marley's music becomes a connector and it helps us to speak a certain language.
All pirates, yes, they rob I.
I couldn't really tell you his thoughts, you know, but from the legacy where we come from, my father was really about one love, so I don't think he had thoughts on African Americans different from white Americans. Even though it was about the black upliftment, we're not speaking of separation, we're speaking of upliftment and still togetherness.
We forward in this generation.
It's hard to hear that song and not understand that redemption is a practice of love, and that to redeem oneself and to redeem one another requires a different view of ourselves.
These songs of freedom, 'cause all I ever have.
Because him thing always was, it was an argument. It wasn't really a song. In the sense, he might try and make a point. Even in them love songs, you know, he might tell a story.
Yeah.
It's a Negro spiritual history. It's like, what you call it, a eulogy, or it sum up everything.
So it's a call for a different gaze. In other words, in Rastafari, love is an epistemology. It's a way of seeing, it's a way of creating knowledge. It's an epistemological force that's designed to undo how we might otherwise be obligated to see one another under the colonial gaze.
Now it's the black people time to really recognize themselves and deal with it properly, you know? Because we are a people and not just slaves.
In the 70s, a new chest out type of pride was coming, and it was definitely coming from Jamaica, and Bob Marley signified that.
It's something higher. I mean, it's not what we are dealing with, the reality of what's going to happen. It's something higher than man's own personal little vexation and pride self. This is something where no man can stop, because all nation are going to gather and all nation are going to say, yes, I'm right. And some plenty will die, you know. But there is people who did it, who want it and know says for them one, which is the right to live, you know. Which when you take the right to live is to have the right vibe. The right vibe come from Rasta. And all I'm doing is working a psychological warfare upon the poor people. Black people time, no! Black people time, no!
You have to actually believe that you are free, and you're willing to take nothing but that. And I feel like Bob Marley, as an artist, was the type of person who was looking for those who believed that freedom was a demand, not a request.
Arms up, take me to the higher place.
So simply, we have the key to our freedom, and our freedom lies in our minds. So when we can become one with that state of being in our minds, we have freedom over everything.
Bob Marley speaks this to say there's a utopia in human spirit.
And this is actually Marcus Garvey who said this. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. That's a major meditation.
Bring the unification of all Africans, like Marcus Garvey preached about, you know. That is what the album really deal about, unity.
Every single reggae artist worth their salt has a song about Marcus Garvey, commemorating his work, understanding his place as a prophet.
You got to talk about the movement of Marcus Garvey. To boldly say Africa is not a curse word. Africa is the word.
Marcus Garvey was really the one who inspired most of these leaders for post-colonial Africa. Although being made Jamaica's first national hero, he's like, to me, more a hero to the whole black nation because of his Pan-Africanist view. So I thought it important to create this mural. Then when I started to work with Bob for the first tour in 1975, Natty Dread tour, I took it along as the backdrop. So, you know, Garvey was the first backdrop. So the Garvey has been to everywhere Bob has performed, everywhere in the world.
You're gonna help my people, help them right. Oh Lord, help us tonight. Cast away that evil.
I used to drive him around Miami in the Jeep.
Doing what for?
Any little thing you needed. Like if you wanted to go buy something, or like we were driving out of the show and I must have swerved by him or something. He had the kids in the car and he like got all upset and he like, mind you don't crash me with my kids in the car or something like that. We were coming back down and the cop pulls us over, state trooper. State trooper says, your tag's expired or something like that. I said, okay, but it shouldn't be expired. He goes, well, come in the car. Back then they used to take you in the car. While he's waiting for the report to come up, right? He says, what does a nice girl like you do with a guy like that? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, you know, look at him like that or something. I'm looking back and Bob's going like this. What's going on? You know, come on, hurry up, right? I go back in the Jeep and I tell Bob what happened. I said, it's all this prejudiced redneck cop. Your dad rolled down the window. Rastafari! Like that. I was like, damn, we're going to get stopped again.
Don't forget that 75, 76 was the peak of disco fever.
Okay.
And that's what black radio stations were playing. At the time, reggae was essentially being played in college and underground FM stations around the country. So getting to crack into black radio was difficult.
You had any conversation with Bob specifically about the black audience?
Well, other than we wanted to reach, but that was very important to him. He was aware we weren't getting coverage that we wanted to get in that audience. And he was aware of the resistance.
We use the Black Panther as our symbol because of the nature of a panther. Panther doesn't strike anyone, but when he's assailed upon, that he'll back up first, but if the aggressor continues, then he'll strike out.
Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth.
One of the things that has been distorted in the mainstream perception of the Black Panthers is that Black militancy was about afros and guns. The Panthers was a combination of those things, yes. Self-determination. It was a Black Panther Party for self-defense, so people were willing to defend themselves against different forms of white supremacy, including the police.
You can read the platform in the program, and it's a basic program, and it simply says exactly what black people have been crying for 400 years. We want decent education that teaches us about the true nature of this racist, decadent system, education that teaches us about our true history and our role in the society and the world today.
Essentially, the Black Panther Party, they were also socialists. The Bay Area was one of these places with strong traditions of socialism, but also strong traditions of Black liberation.
We want all black brothers to be exempt from military service. And we want an immediate end to police brutality and murder of black people.
At that time, folks really were fed up with the system. Fed up with all different kinds of things going on in the system, from the militarism of the Vietnam War to segregation and the war on black people to the failures and limitations of programs like the New Deal to really address systemic racism for Black and Latinx and Native people.
Get up, stand up.
I remember Bob was in Delaware during that whole civil rights movement time.
Right.
Same time I go and work to like 66 things, so that's how I did end up singing tune like Black Progress and all them things. So a long time, I'm in the struggle.
FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover today asserted that the Black Panthers represent the greatest internal threat to the nation.
Take away everything and make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth,
have to pay the price for peace. If you dare to struggle, you dare to win. If you dare not to struggle, then goddamn it, you don't deserve to win. Let me say peace to you if you're willing to fight for it. Let me say it in the spirit of liberation. You ain't gonna do no revolutionary act. Forget about me. I don't want myself on your mind if you're not gonna work for the people. Like we always said, if you actually make a commitment at the age of 20, and you say, I don't want to make that commitment only because of the simple reason that I'm too young to die, I want to live a little bit longer. What you did already.
I come through that whole process here being member of the Black Panther Party and Jella Davis was civil rights movement. I lived amongst more black people in America than Jamaicans when I was here. And it's like we were seen maybe as a threat to R&B. That sounds foolish to me, right? Or the message that we was coming with was dealing with Africa and redemption and them things. And it's like people never too want to hear them kind of thing right now.
Human beings make the changes. Art is that communication to people to realize that they can make change and what changes to make.
Yes, we're fighting to change the material conditions of our people, and I believe that everything has been commodified.
When did we start this incapacitation practice in the first place? And is it justified? Does it get results? You know, what would the justifications have to be for it?
This call is from an inmate at a federal prison.
I'm a 56-year-old man from Dallas, Texas, and I'm serving a life sentence without parole for a nonviolent marijuana conviction. I have been incarcerated for 11 years, and I'm in dire and desperate need of your help. I was offered a 12-year sentence in exchange for my cooperation if I testified against my co-defendant and others. After I refused to tell, I was forced to trial, and of course, I lost, and was consequently given a life sentence.
Call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block...
You know, we only get 300 minutes a month on the phone to talk, and it goes pretty fast, so I can talk to all of my family members at least once a week.
When I was 13, you know, he used to always say, I can't wait till y'all get 16, I'm gonna have y'all be sweet 16. We're past that. We're just pretty much, I don't know. I could have a sweet 16 when he home, sweet 26 or something, I don't know. But yeah.
I've never seen another dad like him, and all my friends even say the same thing, you know what I'm saying? They like, damn, I wish your dad was my dad and all that type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Even if something happened where I got caught, I never imagined that I could get life sentence for it, you know? That never crossed my mind, because I didn't think it was possible. I really didn't.
And you would know where you're coming from.
I'm Barbara Chillis, and I'm Corvain Cooper's mother. Corvain is doing a lifetime sentence for marijuana with life without parole.
Like on my wall, I have a picture of like all my kids and my family and just all the people that I care about. They're all on my wall. So like when I roll over at night, look at that. That's what gives me strength to say, okay, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. You know what I mean? Just don't give up, don't give up, don't give up.
We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it.
They're called correctional facilities, but very little correction is happening there. I think the other thing that we see with mass incarceration is you have a community that's traumatized, and then you send people into brutal conditions so that they get more traumatized and then come back into the community with a greater trauma load than when they went in.
I know a little bit about Jamaica, and I understand in Kingston, Trenchtown is a rough part of town. How did you survive?
Well, while living in Trenchtown, you know, as a young man, surviving was easy. The only thing you'd have to really look out for was the police, you know. Because the police could have just get you, frame you, you go to prison, and because you come from Trenchtown. You know, Trenchtown, from them say, where you from? They say, Trenchtown, you're gone.
When George Floyd was murdered, people had already been watching the brutality of COVID, the complete callousness towards our lives. Suddenly, all the things that we took for granted about, you know, what our society was and how it was going to work for us and it was going to all be good. Like, suddenly, maybe it's not all going to be good. People were shook.
You know, when truth comes, you're never the same. You're either further away from it or you're closer to it, but you can never be the same.
Because there have been so many killings with the police officers involved in them getting away with it, that I think now folks, even the institutional racism explanation is limited because the institutions themselves are a problem.
There's a tendency for us to often think that what these families are dealing with all over the country is a broken system. But when a system is broken, what that means is that system was designed well, was well-intentioned, and has deviated from the way it was designed. That's not what we're dealing with.
We're dealing with not politics, but our own tradition, from creation.
Caught in a roadblock and tell the Mr. Police that ain't got no bird certificate right here. 400 years. And it's the same philosophy.
For 400 years you had your knees on our necks. A garden of evil with no seeds of respect. In America's mirror, all she sees is regret. Instead of letting blood live, they begging for bloodlet. Revenge is a dish that's served on platelets. Transfusion of confusion, abusing our intellect.
Unfortunately, all people in this country, black people and white people, are subjugated to the same system of media, are subjugated to the same systems of communication, are subjugated to the same conditioning. And that's something we definitely have to reckon with if we're going to ever get through any of this stuff.
Until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, war.
Jumping up and down on police cars, I'm vexed. After Chauvin killed George Floyd, we got next. Molotov cocktails, anarchy on the set. The rich took the loot, so now we loot shit.
Until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior.
The roots of oppression in the United States, very clearly and obviously, center around white supremacy. That is not to say it affects exclusively black people. It's not to say it affects exclusively people of color. It affects everyone.
Well, everywhere is war.
Essentially, the way America has conducted itself is to reject any acknowledgement of the natural world, unless it's for profit and extraction, reject any acknowledgement of the indigenous, reject any acknowledgement of its violence, and just continues to double down on the violence and white male superiority. And this has been a cycle that America has been on, and we've never broken out of it, because here we are now, well into the 21st century, and
that realization that we are a part of a country that does not acknowledge at its core that we have the right to exist. The idea that your country does not stand for you, but has a problem when you kneel. The idea that your country does not stand for you, but has no issue kneeling on you.
As far as when this shit gonna stop, it ain't gonna never stop.
So yeah, you right. We should protect our Second Amendment rights. Cause in a second, a dirty cop could kick the door in at night.
Colonialism is famous for its
fabulism, for its willingness to make up, to construct, imagine fables and accounts of individuals.
I don't know. It's a perfect metaphor for America. It was like you have these insanely violent white supremacists who are at the top of the food chain, and then there's everyone else. And the fact that that has been such an ongoing trope through cinema and television and novels and everything for this period of time, like what is the deep fascination America has for that time?
The closest thing the Almighty Jah make to show us that we must live together as one is to give us something called a shadow. And it never bias. You know why? Because it make everybody's shadow black. And your shadow is the significance of who you are.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic. Understand? So the Babylon system is a vampire, deceiving the people day by day.
You had to fight for peace.
The idea of, cops who kill should be brought to justice. They should have consequences. In the past, that was a radical position. People had these sort of shrug, like, oh, well, there's one or two bad apples. Like, that's just the price we pay.
But this system that we're fighting against was designed to oppress us. It's not broken. It's functioning exactly the way it was imagined, created, the way it was funded to work.
The defund demand comes with some hindsight, insight, and foresight. We can look behind us and say, we know that this institution was never created for our good. We have the insight because we see what is currently happening with policies that are actively on the books. We can look at Minnesota. All the policies around excessive force and body cams, they had all that, and George Floyd still died. And so our foresight tells us that we cannot continue to prescribe small solutions to very big problems.
Part of when this stuff started to shift, when we had the crash in 2008 and you had this unsustainable extractive capitalism happening here at home. And this kind of extractive capitalism has always been part of the United States. It was the extractive capitalism of saying, hey, we'll bring some people here from Africa, we'll make them do this really arduous but lucrative work, and we won't pay them. We'll steal the land from the indigenous people, and we will get rich off of that. And that's how it went down.
And really, the crackdown on crime needs to start with this robber baron capitalism and exploitation.
And defunding the police doesn't just mean one thing, it's a spectrum of things. But what we're finding is that urban police departments have budgets in the billions. In many US cities, it's half the budget.
Everyone's got Black Lives Matter in every commercial now. I'm like, that's cute and all. But what we're calling for is a shift in money, like period, point blank.
We need to have community control over this question of what keeps us safe.
So what we're talking about is food for the spirit. So the more you talk about this, the more you grow stronger. Until you don't talk about it, you're getting weak. True. Because that means you don't have anything to say. Right? And if you don't have nothing to say, boy, you're dead.
It kind of seemed like what Bob Marley was talking about, like expanded generations. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like an age-old thing in the spiritual language that I've never heard before with anybody's music. And from then, I was hooked.
Bass come in at the top of the verse.
I shot the sheriff. If it's the black man they fear,
Tell me why they brought me here.
oh, no,
If
no.
I'm a criminal, What shall I call you who scorched the earth? Cricket cop, they do the devil work, that's all they know. Silent cop, they don't do nothing, they the worst for sure. My people fight for their bodies and for their soul. Go to war with police in the ghetto. Government God, dog, come believe me. You're just a pawn, can't you see? Pon my neck, they press their knee. Make it harder and harder to breathe. So I shot the sheriff. Shot the sheriff. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. One more time. Say, it was I who shot the sheriff.
Oh Lord, but I didn't shoot no deputy.
Yeah. Now, please, now, let's be civil. We can both try leaving living. Police don't like my suggestion. Safety all make tough decision. He ain't see me violate, and I know he won't hesitate. Could have just let me walk away, but hey, in the middle of the madness, broad daylight race, bounce up my blackness. Cooperation, don't hurt my chances. More confirmation, my life don't matter. Knees on my neck and my head on the platter. Lights start flashing, thoughts of the babies, no one to save them. So many cameras. You don't understand, but I had to. I shot the sheriff. But I didn't shoot the devil. Yeah.
It's just an expression of that feeling of being pushed to the limit. And it's a feeling that we all feel and don't always act on. We can kind of be vicarious through Bob in that sense where it's like, He created space for us to feel that feeling. You know what I'm saying? And keep moving on by our day.
Where was the deputy? Yeah,
You gotta fight whatever's around you that keeps you from being human.
So this neighborhood likes to call the police on us, so we're gonna be very quiet. Everybody, I think, probably has figured out where we're going. So what we'd like to do is have a completely silent march. And then when we get there, we will do a wake-up call. Ready? So we want to say thank you to everybody for getting up this early. And we're going to get his ass up. And let me remind you what he did this week. He appropriated our fucking words. When we say reimagine public safety, that does not mean more police. He stood in front of our words and chartered a new permanent police bureau. Defund the police does not mean fund the fucking police. So we're saying until he does right, which is probably never, he will not sleep in peace. And so we saying, wake the fuck up, Garcetti.
Empathy, which would make people pay attention to the violence done in a way that would mobilize them, right, affectively, emotionally. Empathy requires this basic presupposition that other one there, to whom violence is done, is also human.
But when people started seeing that, oh, well, this rage can spill over into my neighborhood and, invade my property rights. So now I'm paying a price. Let's bring in the police to protect my property interests. My property interests are more important than any righteous rage that's being expressed over George Floyd. So I want all these people to be characterized as looters. once we call them looters, that's almost calling them the N-word right there. You know, that's up there with thug and scum. And so once we've called them looters, they're on the other side of our care and concern. We've otherized them now. They're not morally complex. We don't have to sympathetically identify with them. They're looters.
Because young people who have essentially for the last 7 years of their life watched and witnessed Black folk talk about Black Lives Matter, which we know and understand that it's an old desire just spoken in a new tongue. And that to me is very ancestral. The memory of our people and the memory of struggle begins to take root when you begin listening to the truth. And that's why I think we're seeing such an outpouring.
The world we want to build is possible.
Love is the most revolutionary thing you can do right now. You can love one another. That is the most rebellious thing. There's nothing more rebellious than loving each other right now. Because the status quo is the division. So to be rebellious, to be revolutionary, you have to love. You have to love. You have to love.
So we really want is that the people want to come together. Which it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.